Act the 5th Scene 3 Kenilworth Castle. Enter Matrevis and Gurney and soldiers with King Edward. Mat. My lord, be not pensive, we are your friends. Men are ordained to live in misery, therefore come dalliance dangereth our lives. K. Edward. Friends, whither must unhappy Edward go? Will hateful Mortimer appoint no rest? Must I be vexed like the nightly bird, whose sight is loathsome to all winged fowls? When will the fury of his mind assuage? When will his heart be satisfied with blood? If mine will serve, unbowel straight this breast, and give my heart to Isabel and him. It is the chiefest mark they level at. Gr. Not so, my liege, the queen hath given this charge to keep you grace and safety. Your passions make your dolours to increase. K. Edward. This usage makes my misery to increase. But can my air of life continue long, when all my senses are annoyed with stench? Within a dungeon England's king is kept, where I am starved for want of sustenance. My daily diet is heartbreaking sobs, that almost rents the closet of my heart. Thus lives old Edward, not relieved by any, and so must I, though pitied by many. Oh, water, gentle friends, to cool my thirst, and clear my body from foul excrements. Mat. Here's channel water, as our charge is given. Sit down, for we'll be barbers to your grace. K. Edward. Traitors, away. What, will you murder me, or choke your sovereign with puddle water? Gr. No, but wash your face, and shave away your beard, lest you be known, and so be rescued. Mat. Why strive you thus? Your labor is in vain. K. Edward. The wren may strive against the lion's strength, but all in vain. So vainly do I strive to seek for mercy at a tyrant's hand. They wash him with puddle water, and shave his beard away. Immortal powers, that knows the painful cares that wait upon my poor distressed soul, O level all your looks upon these daring men, that wrongs their liege and sovereign, England's king. O Gaveston, 'tis for thee, that I am wronged, for me, both thou and both the Spencers died. And for your sakes 1,000 wrongs I'll take. The Spencers' ghosts, wherever they remain, wish well to mine. Then tush, for them I'll die. Mat. Twixt theirs and yours shall be no enmity. Come, come away, now put the torches out, we'll enter in by darkness to Killingworth. Enter Kengur. How now, who comes there? Mat. Guard the king sure. It is the Earl of Kent. K. Edward. O gentle brother, halt to rescue me. Mat. Keep them asunder, thrust in the king. Kent. Soldiers, let me but talk to him one word. Gr. Lay hands upon the Earl for his assault. Kent. Lay down your weapons, traitors. Yield the king. Mat. Edmund, yield thou thyself, or thou shalt die. Kent. Base villains, wherefore do you gripe me thus? Gr. Bind him and so convey him to the court. Kent. Where is the court but here? Here is the king, and I will visit him. Why say you me? Mat. The court is where Lord Mortimer remains, thither shall your honour go, and so farewell. Exeunt Matrevis and Gurney, with King Edward. Kent. O miserable is that commonweal, where lords keep courts, and kings are locked in prison. Soul. Wherefore stay we? On, sirs, to the court. Kent. Lead me whither you will, even to my death, seeing that my brother cannot be released. Excellent. Scene 4 The royal palace. Enter young Mortimer Wymore. The king must die, or Mortimer goes down. The commons now begin to pity him. Yet he that is the cause of Edward's death, is sure to pay for it when his son's of age, and therefore will I do it cunningly. This letter, written by a friend of ours, contains his death, yet bids them save his life. Reads. Edwardum oxidir nullite timere, bonames fear not to kill the king, 'tis good he die. But read it thus, and that's another sense. Edwardum oxidir nullite, timere bonames kill not the king, 'tis good to fear the worst. Unpointed as it is, thus shall it go, that, being dead, if it chance to be found, Matrevis and the rest may bear the blame, and we be quit that caused it to be done. Within this room is Lucca the messenger, that shall convey it, and perform the rest, and by a secret token that he bears, shall he be murdered when the deed is done. Lightborn, come forth. Enter Lightborn. Art thou as resolute as thou wast? Light. What else, my lord? And far more resolute. Why more? And hast thou cast how to accomplish it? Light. And none shall know which way he died. Why more? But at his looks, Lightborn, thou wilt relent. Light. Relent. Ha, ha. I use much to relent. Why more? Well, do it bravely, and be secret. Light. You shall not need to give instructions. 'Tis not the first time I have killed a man. I learned in Naples how to poison flowers, to strangle with a lawn thrust through the throat, to pierce the windpipe with a needle's point, or whilst one is asleep, to take a quill and blow a little powder in his ears, or open his mouth, and pour quicksilver down. And yet I have a braver way than these. Why more? What's that? Light. Nay, you shall pardon me, none shall know my tricks. Why more? I care not how it is, so it be not spied. Gives letter. Deliver this to Gurney and Matrevis. At every 10 mile lend thou hast a horse. Take this. Gives money away, and never see me more. Light. No. Why more? No, unless thou bring me news of Edward's death. Light. That will I quickly do. Farewell, my lord. Exit. Why more? The prince I rule, the queen do I command, and with a lowly conch to the ground, the proudest lords salute me as I pass. I seal, I cancel, I do what I will. Feared am I more than loved, let me be feared, and when I frown, make all the court look pale. I view the prince with Aristarchus's eyes, his looks were as a breaching to a boy. They thrust upon me the protectorship, and sue to me for that I desire. While at the council table, grave enough, and not unlike a bashful Puritan, first I complain of imbecility, saying it is onus quam gravissimum, till being interrupted by my friends, suscepi that provincium as they term it, and to conclude, I am protector now. Now is all sure. The queen and Mortimer shall rule the realm, the king, and none rule us. Mine enemies will I plague, my friends advance, and what I list command you dare control. Major sum quam cui possit fortuna nasir. And that this be the coronation day, it pleaseth me, and Isabel the queen. Trumpets within. The trumpets sound, I must go take my place. Enter the young king, Queen Isabella, the Archbishop of Canterbury, champion, and nobles A of Kent. Long live King Edward, by the grace of God King of England and Lord of Ireland. Cham. If any Christian, heathen, Turk, or Jew, dares but affirm that Edward's not true king, and will avouch his saying with the sword, I am the champion, that will combat him. Why more? None comes, sound trumpets. Trumpets sound. K. Edward, 3rd. Champion, here's to thee. Gives a purse. Q. Isab. Lord Mortimer, now take him to your charge. Enter soldiers, with Kent prisoner why more? What traitor have we there with blades and bills? Sol. Edmund, the Earl of Kent. K. Edward, 3rd. What hath he done? Sol. I would have taken the king away perforce, as we were bringing him to Killingworth. Why more? Did you attempt this rescue, Edmund? Speak. Kent. Mortimer, I did, he is our king, and thou compellest this prince to wear the crown. Why more? Strike off his head. He shall have martial law. Kent. Strike off my head. Base traitor, I defy thee. K. Edward, 3rd. My lord, he is my uncle, and shall live. Why more? My lord, he is your enemy, and shall die. Kent. Stay, villains. K. Edward, 3rd. Sweet mother, if I cannot pardon him, entreat my lord protector for his life. Q. Isab. Son, be content, I dare not speak a word. K. Edward, 3rd. Nor I, and yet methinks I should command, but, seeing I cannot, I'll entreat for him my lord, if you will let my uncle live, I will requite it when I come to age. Why more? 'Tis for your highness's good, and for the realm's. How often shall I bid you bear him hence? Kent. Art thou king? Must I die at thy command? Why more? At our command, once more away with him. Kent. Let me but stay and speak, I will not go. Either my brother or his son is king, and none of both them thirst for Edmund's blood, and therefore, soldiers, whither will you hail me? Soldiers hail Kent away, to be beheaded. K. Edward, 3rd. What safety may I look for at his hands, if that my uncle shall be murdered thus? Q. Isab. Fear not, sweet boy, I'll guard thee from thy foes. Had Edmund lived, he would have sought thy death. Come, son, we'll ride a hunting in the park. K. Edward, 3rd. And shall my uncle Edmund ride with us? Q. Isab. He is a traitor, think not on him, come. Excellent. Scene 5 Berkeley Castle enter Matrevis and Gurney Mat. Gurney, I wonder the king dies not, being in a vault up to the knees in water, to which the channels of the castle run, from whence a damp continually ariseth, that were enough to poison any man, much more a king brought up so tenderly. And so do I, Matrevis. Yesternight I opened, but the door to throw him meat, and I was almost stifled with the savour. Mat. He hath a body able to endure more than we can inflict, and therefore now let us assail his mind another while. Send for him out thence, and I will anger him. Mat. But stay, who's this? Enter Light-born Light. My lord protector greets you. Gives letter. What's here? I know not how to construe it. Mat. Gurney, it was left unpointed for the nonce. It word amoxidir nullite tumir, that's his meaning. Light. Know you this token? I must have the king. Gives token. Mat. Stay a while, thou shalt have answer straight. This villain's sent to make away the king. Aside. I thought as much. Aside. Mat. And when the murder's done, see how he must be handled for his labor. Period iced. Let him have the king. Aside. What else? Here is the key, this is the lake, do as you are commanded by my lord. Light. I know what I must do. Get you away. Yet be not far off, I shall need your help, see that in the next room I have a fire, and get me a spit, and let it be red hot. Mat. Very well. Need you anything besides? Light. What else? A table and a feather bed. That's all. Light. So, when I call you, bring it in. Mat. Fear not thou that. Here's a light, to go into the dungeon. Gives a light, and then exit with Matrevis. Light. So now must I bow this gear. Ne'er was there any so finely handled as this king shall be. For, here's a place indeed, with all my heart. K. Edward. Who's there? What light is that, wherefore calmst thou? Light. to comfort you, and bring you joyful news. K. Edward. Small comfort finds poor Edward in thy looks. Villain, I know thou comest to murder me. Light. To murder you, my most gracious lord. Far is it from my heart to do you harm. The queen sent me to see how you were used, for she relents at this your misery, and what eyes can refrain from shedding tears, to see a king in this most piteous state. K. Edward. Weepst thou already? Thus a while to me, and then thy heart, where does Gurney's is, or is Matrevis's, hewn from the Caucasus, yet will it melt, ere I have done my tale. This dungeon where they keep me is the sink wherein the filth of all the castle falls. Light. O villains. K. Edward. And there in mire and puddle have I stood this 10 days' space, and, lest that I should sleep, one plays continually upon a drum. They give me bread and water, being a king, so that, for want of sleep and sustenance, my mind's distempered, and my body's numbed, and whether I have limbs or no I know not. Oh, would my blood drop it out from every vein, as doth this water from my tattered robes. Tell Isabel, the queen, I look it not thus, when for her sake I ran a tilt in France, and there unhorsed the Duke of Clermont. Light. Oh, speak no more, my lord. This breaks my heart. Lie on this bed, and rest yourself a while. K. Edward. These looks of thine can harbour naught but death. I see my tragedy written in thy brows. Yet stay a while, forbear thy bloody hand, and let me see the stroke before it comes, that even then when I shall lose my life, my mind may be more steadfast on my God. Light. What means your highness to mistrust me thus? K. Edward. What meanst thou to dissemble with me thus? Light. These hands were never stained with innocent blood, nor shall they now be tainted with a king's. K. Edward. Forgive my thought for having such a thought. One jewel have I left, receive thou this. Giving jewel. Still fear I, and I know not what's the cause, but every joint shakes as I give it thee. Oh, if thou harbourst murder in thy heart, let this gift change thy mind, and save thy soul. Know that I am a king. Oh, at that name I feel a hell of grief. Where is my crown? Gone, gone. And do I still remain alive? Light. You're overwatched, my lord, lie down and rest. K. Edward. But that grief keeps me waking, I should sleep, for not these 10 days have these eyelids closed. Now as I speak they fall, and yet with fear open again. Oh, wherefore sitst thou here? Light. If you mistrust me, I'll begin, my lord. K. Edward. No, no, for if thou meanst to murder me, thou wilt return again, and therefore stay. Sleeps. Light. He sleeps. K. Edward. Waking. Oh, let me not die yet. Oh, stay a while. Light. How now, my lord? K. Edward. Something still buzzeth in mine ears, and tells me if I sleep I never wake. This fear is that which makes me tremble thus. And therefore tell me, wherefore art thou come? Light. To rid thee of thy life. Matrevis, come. Enter Matrevis and Gurney. K. Edward. I am too weak and feeble to resist. Assist me, sweet God, and receive my soul. Light. Run for the table. K. Edward. Oh, spare me, or dispatch me in a trice. Matrevis brings in a table. Light. So, lay the table down, and stamp on it, but not too hard, lest that you bruise his body. King Edward is murdered. Mat. I fear me, that this cry will raise the town, and therefore, let us take horse and away. Light. Tell me, sirs, was it not bravely done? Gur. Excellent, well, take this for thy reward. Gurney stabs Lightborn who dies. Come, let us cast the body in the moat, and bear the kings to Mortimer our lord. Away. Excellent with the bodies. Scene 6. The Royal Palace, London. Enter young Mortimer and Matrevis. Why more? Is done, Matrevis, and the murderer dead. Mat. My good lord, I would it were undone. Why more? Matrevis, if thou now growest penitent I'll be thy ghostly father, therefore choose, whether thou wilt be secret in this, or else die by the hand of Mortimer. Mat. Gurney, my lord, is fled, and will, I fear, betray us both, therefore let me fly. Why more? Flight to the savages. Mat. I humbly thank your honor. Exit. Why more? As for myself, I stand as Jove's huge tree, and others are but shrubs compared to me. All tremble at my name, and I fear none. Let's see who dare impeach me for his death. Enter Queen Isabella. Q. Isab. Ah, Mortimer, the king my son hath news his father's dead, and we have murdered him. Why more? What if he have? The king is yet a child. Q. Isab. But he tears his hair, and wrings his hands, and vows to be revving it upon us both. Into the council chamber he is gone, to crave the aid and succor of his peers. Me, see here he comes, and they with him. Now, Mortimer, begins our tragedy. Enter King Edward III, lords, and attendants. First Lord. Fear not, my lord, know that you are a king. K. Edward III. Villain, why more? How now, my lord? K. Edward III. Think not that I am frighted with thy words. My father's murdered through thy treachery, and thou shalt die, and on his mournful hearse thy hateful and accursed hat shall lie, to witness to the world, that by thy means his kingly body was too soon interred. Q. Isab. Weep not, sweet son. K. Edward III. Forbid me not to weep, he was my father, and, had you loved him half so well as I, you could not bear his death thus patiently. But you, I fear, conspirate with Mortimer. First Lord, why speak you not unto my lord the king? Why more? Because I think scorn to be accursed. Who is a man dares say I murdered him? K. Edward, 3rd. Traitor, in me my loving father speaks, and plainly saith, 'twas thou that murderedst him. Why more? But has your grace no other proof than this? K. Edward, 3rd. Yes, if this be the hand of Mortimer. Shewing letter. Why more? False Gurney hath betrayed me and himself. Aside. Q. Isab. I feared as much, murder cannot be hid. Aside. Why more? It is my hand, what gather you by this? K. Edward, 3rd. That thither thou didst send a murder. Why more? What murder? Bring forth the man I sent. K. Edward, 3rd. Ah, Mortimer, thou knowest that he is slain, and so shalt thou be too. Why stays he here? Bring him unto a hurdle, drag him forth, hang him, I say, and set his quarters up, but bring his head back presently to me. Q. Isab. For my sake, sweet son, pity Mortimer. Why more? Madam, entreat not, I will rather die, than sue for life unto a paltry boy. K. Edward, 3rd. Hence with the traitor, with the murderer. Why more? Base fortune, now I see, that in thy wheel there is a point, to which when men aspire, they tumble headlong down. That point I touch it, and, seeing there was no place to mount up higher, why should I grieve at my declining foe? Farewell, fair queen, weep not for Mortimer, that scorns the world, and, as a traveller, goes to discover countries yet unknown. K. Edward, 3rd. What? Suffer you the traitor to delay? Young Mortimer is taken away by First Lord and attendants. Q. Isab. As thou reservedst thy life from me, spill not the blood of gentle Mortimer. K. Edward, 3rd. This argues that you spilled my father's blood, else would you not entreat for Mortimer. Q. Isab. I spill his blood? No. K. Edward, 3rd. Madam, you, for so the rumor runs. Q. Isab. That rumor is untrue, for loving thee, is this report raced on poor Isabel. K. Edward, 3rd. I do not think her so unnatural. 2nd Lord. My lord, I fear me, it will prove too true. K. Edward, 3rd. Mother, you are suspected for his death, and therefore we commit you to the Tower till farther trial may be made thereof. If you be guilty, though I be your son, think not to find me slack or pitiful. Q. Isab. Nay, to my death, for too long have I lived ween as my son thinks to abridge my days. K. Edward, 3rd. Away with her, her words enforce these tears, and I shall pity her as she speak again. Q. Isab. Shall I not mourn for my beloved lord, and with the rest accompany him to his grave? 2nd Lord. Thus, madam, 'tis the king's will you shall hence. Q. Isab. He hath forgotten me, stay, I am his mother. 2nd Lord. That boots not, therefore, gentle madam, go. Q. Isab. Then come, sweet death, and rid me of this grief. Exit. Re-enter First Lord, with the head of young Mortimer. First Lord. My lord, here is the head of Mortimer. K. Edward, 3rd. Go fetch my father's hearse, where it shall lie, and bring my funeral robes. Excellent attendance. The cursed head, could I have rolled thee then, as I do now, thou hadst not hatched this monstrous treachery. Here comes the hearse, help me to mourn, my lords. Re-enter attendants with the hearse and funeral robes. Sweet father, here unto thy murdered ghost I offer up this wicked traitor's head, and let these tears, distilling from mine eyes, be witness of my grief and innocency. Excellent.